Hey viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist. Welcome back to Say You're Being Hunted. This is episode 339, is it now? Should have checked again before I started the recording, but never mind, we're here. So let's just get into it. Where is that fucking dog? Nope. Don't even try it, you little shit. Oh god. Why? Why? Alright, fuck it. What the hell, really? Single shot from a shotgun didn't kill you, even at that range, admittedly, but yes. God, why is it that whenever I reload into the game like that, the dogs always sort of spawn and just cause a load of trouble? There's a guy over there, but he's not going to come over here. Right, so we've cleared out 3 islands now. The east one, I think, was the one we did previously, was it not? So now we have a choice of south or west. West. Because that's the first one that appeared on the compass as I was turning around just then. So, yeah, hope you guys out there are all doing well. Of course, we are going to continue our Brute Force Attempt 2 challenge, which is pretty good. Now, there's an interesting topic, actually, that I had in mind before I was, going to start this episode. Yeah, well, you do whatever you're doing. I'm trying to get somewhere, mate. I don't have really time to fight you, if I'm honest. Okay, yeah, I was just going to say, I had an interesting topic of conversation which I kind of want to discuss here. It sort of concerns a bit of YouTube, but it's also kind of harking back as well to a subject that I've actually discussed before here on the channel. Now, a while back I actually did, I can't remember what number it was, I did an episode where I talked about LEGO Rock Raiders, it was. Hold on, I'll resume talking in a second, just once we've got through this loading screen. Right, we're in. Okay, so, as I was saying, so I did an episode quite some time ago talking about LEGO Rock Raiders, which was an interesting one. Not so much talking about the actual sub-theme, the actual sets, but talking about the video game from 1999, was it? The LEGO Rock Raiders game? I could have sworn it was 1999. I may have got that slightly wrong. Maybe that was LEGO Racers 1, I'm not entirely sure. But whenever it was, I'm pretty sure I probably talked about how, I played that game when I was a kid, and I did get quite far along in it. I got to something like the second to last level, but never actually completed it. I talked a bit about what it was like playing it, at least from what I can remember. I probably said it before, but I'll say it again. Rock Raiders, I remember being that game which kind of got very grindy at times, because a lot of the levels were essentially the same. It was just find X number of energy crystals to win. But the reason I kind of bring up that game again is because, well, here on YouTube, I actually encountered a channel that I'd never seen before. I encountered a channel that I'd never seen before fairly recently, and the channel in question is called Caddicarus, or Caddicarus, however you pronounce it. And if I had to describe what this channel is, he's basically JonTron except English. That's how I describe him. He sort of looks back on things like old games, old franchises, things like that. He kind of does these sort of humorous takes, humorous looks at them. And one of the videos which I saw from his channel was him looking at old LEGO games. Actually, not just old LEGO games, but also modern ones as well. Now, as you can imagine, a lot of the older LEGO games are kinda shit. The mechanics of them are not exactly great, anything like that. But it was quite a little... It was quite a blast from the past for someone like me, because I played a few LEGO games when I was a kid. Apart from the original, apart from LEGO Rock Raiders, I remember playing the original LEGO Racers, which I mentioned a moment ago. The original LEGO Island, I played that. And I remember Phil actually had a couple of LEGO games as well. He's probably talked about this in various episodes in which he's joined me. But so he had, for example, LEGO Island 2, LEGO Racers 2, stuff like that. So yeah, it was a nostalgic blast from the past just watching it. But what was kind of interesting watching that Caddicarus video was he looked at the original LEGO Racers, and he also looked at the original LEGO Rock Raiders game. I say the original LEGO Rock Raiders game as though there's more than one. There isn't. It's just LEGO Rock Raiders, but you know what I'm trying to say. So he looked at LEGO Rock Raiders. Now, I didn't know this, but LEGO Rock Raiders was available on more than one console. Now, I remember when I was a kid, I had the PC version, and most people online all agreed that the PC version was the most polished and actually relatively decent version of the game. But Caddicarus in his video was looking at the PS1 version, I believe, of Rock Raiders, and let's just say, when I saw the gameplay footage that he'd accumulated for his video, I was really surprised by it, because the PS1 version of Rock Raiders looks like an entirely different fucking game. It's weird. So, you know, for people who don't know, the PC version of LEGO Rock Raiders was in essence kind of a strategy game. You know, you had Rock Raiders themselves, who were kind of the units. You'd build structures, you'd gather resources, there was base building, stuff like that in it. You could get vehicles to speed things up, all kinds of stuff, which was kind of awesome. But the PS1 version apparently didn't really have any of that. It was bizarre. So it makes me wonder, did the PC version come first, and then the LEGO company or whoever decided that, you know, they didn't want to exclude a potentially large part of the market, of the gaming market, so they felt the need to actually create a console version of the game, but of course the console version of the game was really sloppy, I'm guessing. So it was just really interesting watching that video to see how the two versions of the Rock Raiders game were just so completely different to one another. It was very bizarre. It just makes you... Oh god, jeez, spinning my camera around without meaning to. It just makes you wonder what sort of thought processes were going through the minds of the people when the people involved in its development. Why did they make the decisions that they did? An interesting question. But yeah, apart from that, obviously, like I say, he looked at a load of other LEGO games, and here's the thing, you know, when you look back on games from your childhood, you do sometimes look back on them through very rose-tinted spectacles, and you kind of look at them and you think, yeah, they were so good, I enjoyed them so much. But then, you know, as an adult, when you look back on them and you take a really kind of long, critical view of them, you actually realise how shit they actually were. Yeah, so, for example, I remember Lego Island 2 when Phil showed it to me, when, you know, me and him as kids would play that a little bit, and I remember that, you know, as a kid you look at it and you think, oh, that looks kind of good. But when Caddicarus did his video on it and he looked at Lego Island 2, you realise actually just how slapdash it actually is, because his version of it, his playing had all kinds of things like lighting bugs, God knows what else, just really stilted dialogue, all kinds of stuff, and you think, oh god, yeah, this is such an amateur production. But yeah, but also Lego Racers 2 as well, because I remember, you know, Phil had that and we played a bit of that together from time to time when we were kids, and, you know, when I kind of look back on Lego Racers 2 with a critical eye, I think to myself, you know, there were a lot of differences between Lego Racers 1 and Lego Racers 2, which some of those differences are interesting. They certainly, you know, betray that there were kind of interesting ideas on the part of the development staff, but at the same time, some of the decisions you think, why did you make that decision? Why didn't you kind of stick with stuff that had been done in Lego Racers 1? So for example, like in Lego Racers 2, you know, you used to get power-ups, and most of those power-ups, from what I remember, were projectile weapons, and so you could obviously target the cars that were used by other racers to try and slow them down. And, you know, that's no different from Lego Racers 1, you had that there as well. But what was kind of different was that, again, Phil and me have talked about this before in a previous You're Being Hunted, as far as I'm aware, but in Lego Racers 1 your power-up system was actually kind of interesting. It felt like some thought had actually gone into it. So you had bricks of different colours, and the power-ups were kind of divided into different categories depending on based on what they actually did. So if you picked up a red brick, you'd get a projectile, that you fire at opponents ahead of you. If you get a yellow brick, you throw out like a trap or a hazard behind you. Blue gives you shields. Green gives you turbo boosts. So, like I say, coloured bricks, and each one represents a different kind of category of power-up. But then on top of that, you get the white sort of multiplier bricks, which if you pick them up, they don't give you a power-up in and of themselves, but if you then pick up one of the coloured bricks, it gives you an upgraded version of the base power-up. So, like, you take the green turbo boost brick, for example. If you just pick up the green brick, by default you get a very short, very simple turbo boost. But if you get a load of white bricks and then get the green brick, what you actually get is a much more upgraded version of that literally allows you to time warp across the map, which is pretty crazy. And that was just a really interesting power-up system for that game, because it, you know, like I say, it felt like some thought had actually gone into it. But then in LEGO Racers 2, the power-up system was much more generic, from what I remember. For some reason in LEGO Racers 2, they did away with all the sort of bricks of different colours. They did away with the white multiplier bricks. Instead, it was just like these bubbles along the racetrack that you drive into to pick them up, and they just give you a random projectile or power-up of some kind. And so, in that respect, LEGO Racers 2's power-up system just felt a lot more shallow. Yeah, but one thing that was interesting about LEGO Racers 2, which LEGO Racers 1 didn't have, was that LEGO Racers 2 had a system where you could actually destroy your opponent's vehicles, or damage them to take bricks off them. And so in order to rebuild their car on the fly, they would have to drive through a certain checkpoint, something like that, which is an interesting mechanic that wasn't in LEGO Racers 1. But yeah, it felt like LEGO Racers 2, they sort of downgraded certain aspects of it, kind of. So it was really weird. I don't really know why, again, they chose to do that. But that's certainly a criticism that Caddicarus picked up on in his LEGO Games video. Oh, there is a poacher somewhere nearby. Just got to watch out for him. Right, last device piece here on this island. There we go. That's the west cleared out. And what this does mean is that riders are going to be spawning at some point, which we will need to watch out for. So isn't that going to be interesting, ladies and gentlemen? That's when I'm going to have to start using my rifle, which is in slot number 6. And I'll just try and remember that. Obviously we can't really stealth it doesn't matter if the poacher sees us or not. Why don't you come on out, matey? Yeah? Come and say hi, why don't you? I'm going to lead you on a merry goose chase towards this jetty over here. I would take him on to try and get his blunderbuss, but to be honest, I don't think it's worth it, because I don't really have the space in my inventory to do it. This big slag heap that's spawned in the water, interestingly. Slag heap, rubble heap, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so in short, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen Caddicarus' channel, might be worth a watch. Like I say, he's an English JonTron, let's put it that way. It just feels like, because I've seen a few JonTron videos before, and then I watched a few of Caddicarus's, it felt like the style was very similar between those two things. I don't know, maybe Caddicarus, if he happened upon this video, maybe he'd disagree with that, who knows. But yeah, that's just how I sort of regarded it. I know some people apparently don't really like JonTron's videos. They say, I don't know, I've heard some people say his videos are a bit cancerous, but I don't know, I've seen a few of them, and I think they're funny. Let's go east. And we're back in. Okay, right. So what I think we'll do is just deposit these device pieces back at the standing stones, and then we will wrap up the episode. So, let's get cracking on back over here. I did have my... oh, there it is. My revolver. I'm just going to reload that to full, since it only had 3 rounds before. Oh god, bloody dogs. Okay, fuck it. You know what? You're going to die, dog. I don't know why I'm hiding from you. There we go. Just quickly took him out. There we go. Right, let's go on over here. Standing stones off in this direction, aren't they? Go, go, gadget. Right. So far we're doing well at the challenge, I think. I know I had 1 or 2 slip-ups early on where I crouched, but then I instantly stood up again, because I thought, hang on a minute, not supposed to crouch, are you, Red? Doesn't matter as well if they see the torch beam, because at the end of the day, we're not stealthing it. If they see it, they see it. I hear you, dog. wherever you are. No bloody things. Alright, you wanna fucking go, do ya? You wanna fucking go? You wanna go, bro? Yes. Right, you're out. And you. There we go. Destroyed. Got him. Oh, I'll get some shotgun ammo though, whilst you're at it. And I'll eat your mints as well, though. Right, let's keep moving. No time to be standing around, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Right. Okay, so since we're approaching here, and we're going to throw down these device pieces, I think we'll wrap up here. This is another episode of Being Hunted with me, General Red Strategist. Why are there pheasants everywhere? Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with the link to my propagandist channel. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But other than that, I'm signing off. Well, actually, no. Before I do that, just any people, any Caddicarus viewers out there, watching this, give me a, just give me a wave down in the comments and all that. And other than that, I'll sign off now. Goodbye, everybody. I don't know what that was, but I'm not sure. Head full, navigator, and take our depth up to 100 meters. And through the hole, thread the needle. Navigator. Right. This feels like a big section again, this does. I mean, it's been steady sailing so far, no particular threats, nothing like that. Fairly straightforward path, even if it was a bit kind of hard to find at first. Now down we go. Descend a little bit. We are kind of going at full speed here. Right. Just keep moving forward. No! This is bad.